you ever wondered if something as simple as an ingredient sitting quietly in your kitchen could be slowly affecting the health of your eyes without you even realizing it? Many people believe that vision problems are just an unavoidable part of aging. However, modern health research is showing us a different story. Lifestyle choices, especially what we eat, play a crucial role in how well our eyes function over time. This doesn't mean that one food will instantly damage your eyesight, but rather, it's the patterns of eating we repeat every day that can affect the delicate systems supporting our vision. The eyes are among the most fragile organs in the human body. Inside them are tiny blood vessels, light-sensitive cells, and complex nerve connections that send visual signals to the brain every moment. These systems rely heavily on stable blood circulation, the right nutrients, and controlled inflammation. When these systems are properly supported, the eyes tend to work more efficiently as we age. But when blood sugar spikes, chronic inflammation, or nutritional imbalances repeatedly occur, the eyes can become more susceptible to stress over time. Major health organizations, such as the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and the World Health Organization, WHO, have studied how our overall metabolic health directly impacts eye health. The retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye, is particularly vulnerable. It requires a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through the tiniest capillaries. The retina functions like the sensor in a digital camera, just as the camera sensor needs a constant power supply and stable signals to create clear images. The retina needs a stable internal environment to process visual data properly. Yet, when the body's internal chemistry is disrupted, especially by sudden changes in blood sugar or inflammation, it can cause stress on delicate systems that rely on precise circulation. Research from institutions like Harvard Health emphasizes that fluctuations in blood sugar, oxidative stress, and inflammation affect the eye's ability to process visual information. The Mayo Clinic also agrees, stating that eye health is never isolated from the rest of the body, meaning that conditions affecting metabolism, circulation, or inflammation can impact vision over time. One mistake that many older adults make is assuming that eye problems are simply genetic or just an inevitable consequence of aging. While aging and genetics certainly play a role, lifestyle factors, particularly diet, can influence how well our eyes function. Foods that lead to sharp fluctuations in blood sugar or promote inflammation can cause subtle stress on systems that depend on stable circulation, like the eyes. Diets rich in whole foods, fiber, healthy fats, and plant nutrients help maintain more stable internal conditions, which can, in turn, support long-term eye health. It's crucial to remember, though, that information about nutrition and eye health should be used as general advice, not as a substitute for medical consultation. Anyone noticing changes in their vision should always consult a healthcare professional. As the research from institutions like the NIH, Harvard Health, and the Mayo Clinic shows, the lifestyle choices we make every day, especially when it comes to diet, can greatly influence how well the body's delicate systems, including the eyes, function as we age. The human eye is one of the most metabolically active organs in the body, constantly requiring a steady supply of oxygen, nutrients, and stable blood flow to function properly. Every second, your eyes capture light and convert it into electrical signals, which your brain interprets as images, colors, and movement. This complex process depends on the retina, a thin layer of tissue located at the back of the eye. The retina is home to millions of light-sensitive cells, including rods for night vision and cones for color and detailed vision. These cells work tirelessly throughout the day, which makes the eye one of the most energy-demanding organs in your body. Given this high demand for energy, the retina relies on a delicate network of extremely tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients. If the blood flow to the retina is compromised, even slightly, the performance of the eye can suffer. That's why scientists and healthcare organizations emphasize the connection between overall metabolic health and eye function. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, the retina requires constant nourishment from the circulatory system, which involves a network of tiny capillaries that are especially sensitive compared to those found in other organs. These microscopic blood vessels must remain flexible and unobstructed so they can efficiently deliver nutrients. But when the body undergoes frequent metabolic stress like blood sugar spikes or chronic inflammation, these delicate blood vessels can become strained. Over time, this can take a toll, subtly impacting the retina's ability to function at its best. To help visualize this, think of the retina as being like a camera sensor. Harvard Health often uses this analogy. Just as a high-quality camera sensor needs stable power and a clean electrical signal to capture clear images, the retina depends on a balanced internal environment to process visual information effectively. When the body experiences disruptions, whether in blood sugar, oxidative stress, or inflammation, it creates a kind of static that affects the delicate retinal tissue. This link between eye health and overall health is not just a theory, it's well supported by decades of research from some of the most respected medical organizations in the world. For example, the Cleveland Clinic highlights the fact that the eyes contain some of the smallest blood vessels in the body, which makes them particularly vulnerable to circulatory changes. As these blood vessels respond quickly to shifts in the body's systems, eye health can serve as an early indicator of broader metabolic issues, including high blood sugar or poor circulation. That's why a doctor can often spot the first signs of metabolic or circulatory problems during an eye exam. Interestingly, the Mayo Clinic also emphasizes that eye health is connected to the body's broader metabolic state. When people focus only on glasses, eye drops, or even surgical treatments for improving vision, they miss the bigger picture. Health professionals increasingly encourage a holistic approach to protecting vision, one that goes beyond just focusing on the eyes themselves. Incorporating lifestyle habits like balanced nutrition, regular exercise, stress management, and good sleep hygiene can also promote long-term eye health. These are the same habits that support heart health, which is why so many experts advocate for viewing eye care as part of a larger approach to overall wellness. One of the most common misconceptions about vision problems is that they are purely genetic or an inevitable part of growing older. While it's true that genetics and aging influence eye health, they are not the sole determining factors. A key player in how our eyes age is diet. Our daily eating habits directly affect how our body manages blood sugar, inflammation, and nutrient delivery, all of which have a profound impact on eye health. When we repeatedly consume foods that cause sharp fluctuations in blood sugar or promote chronic inflammation, the body has to constantly work to restore balance. This process of trying to keep everything in check can create stress on delicate systems, including the eyes. But it's not all bad news. On the flip side, diets rich in whole foods, fiber, healthy fats, and plant-based nutrients help maintain more stable internal conditions. These types of foods can help regulate blood sugar, lower inflammation, and ensure proper nutrient delivery throughout the body, including to the eyes. Consuming these types of foods regularly can support long-term eye health and delay age-related vision issues. You see, the eyes are highly sensitive to changes in the body's internal environment, especially when it comes to blood flow and nutrient delivery. Harvard Health has done an excellent job explaining this, using the analogy of a digital camera sensor. Just as a camera sensor relies on a steady power supply and clear signals to produce crisp images, the retina relies on a stable internal environment to send clear visual signals to the brain. When blood sugar spikes or when inflammation rises in the body, it interferes with this delicate balance and can ultimately affect vision quality. One of the biggest offenders in promoting these metabolic disruptions is excessive sugar consumption. Most people think of sugar as something found only in obvious treats like cakes and candies, but the truth is, added sugars lurk in many foods we consider healthy, like flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, and packaged oatmeal. In fact, many processed foods contain added sugars that may not even taste sweet, but over time they can contribute to an overabundance of sugar in the diet. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, have spent years researching how added sugars impact the body. While sugar itself is not inherently harmful in moderation, consistently high sugar intake can lead to a cascade of metabolic issues. For instance, when someone eats foods high in refined sugars, their blood sugar levels spike, prompting the body to release insulin to help absorb the glucose. This process, when done occasionally, is fine. But when it happens frequently, it can put a strain on the body's systems, causing blood sugar levels to fluctuate wildly. Over time, these fluctuations can lead to chronic metabolic stress, which affects the body's ability to maintain stable circulation, including in the eyes. This constant battle between high and low blood sugar levels can make it harder for the tiny blood vessels in the eyes to function properly. These blood vessels are incredibly delicate, and any disruption in circulation can affect their ability to nourish the retina, the part of the eye responsible for detecting light and sending visual signals to the brain. When this delicate system is compromised, vision may begin to deteriorate. The good news is that small changes in diet can go a long way in protecting our eyes. Reducing the consumption of added sugars and replacing processed foods with whole, nutrient-dense options like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can help regulate blood sugar levels. Additionally, incorporating more healthy fats, such as those found in avocados, nuts, and olive oil, can support eye health by maintaining proper nutrient delivery to the retina and reducing inflammation. As we continue to dive deeper into how our everyday choices shape our eye health, it becomes clear that many of us overlook the impact of hidden sugars in our diet. These hidden sugars are not only found in obvious sweets, but they're also sneaky ingredients in everyday processed foods that many people consider healthy. Packaged breads, salad dressings, breakfast cereals, and even some yogurts contain added sugars that can silently add up throughout the day. What's more alarming is that many individuals don't even realize how much sugar they're consuming. It's easy to assume that by cutting out desserts, you're reducing your sugar intake, but the truth is that sugary foods are often hiding in places we don't expect. The Cleveland Clinic emphasizes that this hidden sugar is one of the reasons so many people unknowingly exceed the recommended daily sugar intake. For example, a seemingly healthy granola bar can contain several teaspoons of sugar per serving. Flavored yogurt, often marketed as a health food, can be packed with sugar, and even condiments like ketchup and barbecue sauce contribute to the overall sugar intake. While the body can handle sugar in moderation, it's the consistent consumption of added sugars, particularly in processed foods, that creates stress on the body's systems. The real issue with these sugars is how they influence the body's metabolic balance. When we consume foods high in refined sugars, our blood sugar levels spike rapidly. The body releases insulin to manage this increase in glucose. However, when this cycle happens repeatedly, especially from foods with little to no fiber or nutritional value, it places a strain on the body's ability to regulate blood sugar effectively. Over time, this metabolic stress affects more than just our waistlines. It impacts our organs, including our eyes. As we age, the delicate blood vessels in the eyes become more vulnerable to these fluctuations in blood sugar. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, has repeatedly shown how the eyes, especially the retina, rely on a steady and stable blood supply. The retina needs constant nourishment and oxygen to perform its critical function of transmitting visual information to the brain. When the body experiences unstable blood sugar levels, these fine blood vessels become strained, which can ultimately affect the health and performance of the retina. What's more, frequent blood sugar fluctuations contribute to another health issue, inflammation. Harvard Health explains that chronic low-grade inflammation, which is often triggered by poor diet and metabolic stress, can become a persistent problem over time. This type of inflammation is subtle but damaging and can worsen metabolic problems, disrupt circulation, and increase the risk of chronic diseases. When left unchecked, this inflammation can affect the vascular system, including the tiny blood vessels in the eyes, reducing their ability to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the retina. Fortunately, the solution is simpler than it seems. By cutting back on added sugars and focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods, we can help reduce the strain on our metabolism and maintain healthier circulation. Whole fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and lean proteins help maintain stable blood sugar levels, while healthy fats like those found in avocados and olive oil can reduce inflammation. These dietary adjustments not only protect the body from the inside out, but also support the eyes by ensuring that the delicate blood vessels remain healthy and able to nourish the retina. Another key factor in maintaining eye health, particularly as we age, is the role of inflammation. Inflammation is a natural immune response designed to protect the body from injury or infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, it can cause serious health problems, including those affecting the eyes. This low-grade inflammation, often triggered by poor diet, excessive sugar intake, and metabolic stress, can create long-term damage to various tissues throughout the body. Harvard Health explains that chronic inflammation is like a silent enemy. It doesn't always cause immediate pain, but it can slowly damage delicate tissues, including the small blood vessels in the eyes. The eyes, as previously mentioned, rely on a complex network of tiny blood vessels to supply the retina with the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function. When chronic inflammation sets in, it can damage these blood vessels, making it harder for the eyes to get the necessary nutrients and oxygen. This can ultimately affect vision over time. Not only does inflammation contribute to eye health problems directly, but it also makes the body more vulnerable to other systemic issues that affect vision. The Cleveland Clinic highlights that repeated blood sugar spikes, often linked to high sugar intake, can lead to an increased risk of eye diseases like diabetic retinopathy, which affects the retina and can lead to vision loss. Understanding the relationship between inflammation and eye health is critical for developing a long-term plan for maintaining good vision. While inflammation itself doesn't directly target the eyes, its systemic effects can disrupt blood circulation and nutrient delivery, which are essential for eye function. By adopting an anti-inflammatory diet, one that's rich in fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and whole grains, we can reduce the burden of chronic inflammation and better support eye health. The World Health Organization, WHO, also emphasizes the importance of dietary patterns that reduce inflammation. Their guidelines recommend reducing the intake of free sugars and focusing more on whole, unprocessed foods. This dietary shift helps not only the eyes but the body as a whole. Fiber-rich foods like whole grains, vegetables, and fruits play an important role in regulating inflammation and blood sugar levels. The fiber in these foods helps slow the digestion of carbohydrates, preventing sharp blood sugar spikes and reducing the strain on the body's metabolic systems. One thing that's clear is that maintaining a stable metabolic environment is essential for preserving eye health. While diet is a key factor, other lifestyle habits also play a role. Regular physical activity helps the body use glucose more efficiently, ensuring that blood sugar levels stay within a healthy range. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, points out that even moderate exercise, like daily walking, can improve glucose metabolism and reduce inflammation. In addition to exercise, sufficient sleep is another critical factor. Poor sleep patterns can disrupt hormonal balance, which in turn can impact blood sugar control and increase cravings for sugary foods. Ensuring you get enough restful sleep supports the body's ability to maintain metabolic balance and reduces the risk of metabolic stress. The final piece of the puzzle when it comes to eye health is understanding the bigger picture of how the body works as an interconnected system. Many health professionals emphasize that lifestyle choices such as diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management are essential for maintaining overall health and, by extension, eye health. The human body is not a collection of isolated systems. Instead, each system is intricately linked to the others. What we eat affects our metabolism, which influences our circulation, which in turn impacts our eyes. By focusing on balanced nutrition, reducing added sugar intake, and incorporating regular physical activity into your daily routine, you're not just supporting your overall health, you're actively helping your eyes stay strong and healthy as you age. Nutrient-dense foods like whole fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains provide the vitamins and minerals needed to support blood circulation, reduce inflammation, and maintain stable blood sugar levels. These actions work together to create an environment in which the body's delicate systems, including the eyes, can thrive. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the National Institutes of Health, NIH, have both pointed out the importance of a holistic approach to health. This means thinking beyond short-term fixes and focusing on long-term habits that support your body as a whole. Incorporating healthier eating habits, regular physical activity, stress management techniques, and good sleep hygiene will help you maintain a steady internal environment, one that benefits all your organs, including your eyes. For seniors, maintaining eye health becomes even more important because aging naturally changes how the body processes nutrients and regulates metabolism. As we get older, our bodies may become more sensitive to poor diet choices and metabolic disruptions. That's why it's never too late to start making healthier choices. By adopting better dietary habits today, such as reducing added sugar, eating more whole foods, and staying active, you can preserve your vision and improve your quality of life. So, if you want to protect your eyes and maintain clear, healthy vision as you age, it's time to rethink your daily habits. Start by becoming more mindful of hidden sugars in your diet, incorporate more whole foods, and make small, sustainable changes. Remember, a balanced diet is the key to not only keeping your eyes in top shape, but also supporting your overall health for the years to come. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss more eye-opening tips on maintaining health as you age. Stay healthy, stay proactive, and keep your eyes and your whole body strong for the future.